Hey guys, Crazypostman here. So it's been a week since I tried to do the Terramow video that showed the multi-zone pathway. And if you've watched that video, you know I couldn't get it to work. Well, there's a fancy feature in the app where you can report a problem that you're having with the Terramow. And I reported it, and within a few hours, they had the problem corrected. That is awesome. I got a response that said there was some kind of bug with the Bluetooth being overloaded some way with the Android app. So they saw that bug and were able to correct it. So today I'm going to actually show you how to do a multi-zone pathway. Now you can see I'm standing here under my carport because it is over 100 degrees air temperature right now, and the heat index value is 116. So the actual air temperature is going to get up to about 110 today. So I'm going to meet y'all in the app, and we're going to go over how to put a multi-zone pathway on the map. So this is the second time I filmed this. The first time I filmed it, I did not hit the record button. So now I am extra hot. I don't know what I filmed and what I didn't film before I forgot to hit the button. So first off, to do the multi-zone pathway, you have to get the robot to where you want to start. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna connect to this thing with the remote control, and we're gonna go ahead and back it out of the charging station. We're gonna park it here about where we want to start our pathway. So we're gonna get out of the manual control. To do a multi-zone pathway, you're going to bring up the map. Now you can see I happen to already have a nice multi-zone pathway and a front yard map, but you will see that shortly. It is what it is. I screwed up. And listen, the only way to delete the multi-zone pathway is to delete the whole map. I couldn't find a way to just edit the map. I can rename the map. Oh my gosh. You can delete the pathway. Look at that, guys. So how about we re-record this live here? Let's go ahead and hit delete, and we will start all over. So what happened the first time is this front yard zone was not here yet. To create a multi-zone map, you have to create the pathway first. So I created the pathway that went around and connected to this area of grass, and then it just started mapping automatically, going back and forth, and you will see that in the video coming up. So when you're creating your multi-zone pathway, there's not going to be an area over here already. Just keep that in mind. So now to connect these two zones here, we're going to say create a multi-zone pathway. So it's going to show you exactly what to do. You're going to start remote control and back your Terramow up out of the charging station and go to where you want the start point to begin. And then you're going to select start point, and then you're going to drive it. Oh, it's going to look around first, and then you're going to drive it, and you're going to select endpoint, and it's going to look around again, and then it will start mapping the next area. So we're going to select set as start point, and it's going to look around and see if it can discover its location on the map. Location successful. It knows where it is. So now all you have to do is just drive it to the new zone, and that's all we're going to do here. Just follow behind it, because you don't want to get in front of it, because it's a vision system, so you don't want it to see you blocking its path. I don't know exactly how it works, but since it's vision only, it's probably recording videos or photos along this path so it knows where it's at, along with probably odometry information from the tires. But I'm going to drive the Terramow directly down the grass's edge here. Trying to go from shade spot to shade spot. Now, I normally have cars parked in my driveway here, so that's why I'm kind of making a wide berth around the back here, because I don't want it to hit any cars that's in my driveway. And then we're just going to go straight into the grass. Let it go in the grass just a bit, and then we'll stop it there. Set endpoint. Said resuming mapping, but it knows it's in an area, so it said mapping completed. And now it's driving itself back home right now. It is off by a few inches. I never had it going in the grass here, so it took a little bit of liberty there. So go in the grass a little bit. Now about here, it should start angling towards the gate. Oh, that's better. It went through the middle of the gate this time. The first time it came through, it kind of hit the gate just a little bit there. So it certainly did better the second time. Now we're going to go back in time to the earlier clip where I was mapping the front yard. So it's been mapping for about 9 minutes now, and it seems to be mapping much faster than it used to. Oh my gosh, that truck is so loud. It does seem to be mapping much faster than it used to. It's going around the boundary now. Now it is doing the same thing it used to do. So it's always, even during spot mow, it only goes to about right there, and then it does the edges. And then after that, it will start working further in that direction. So I share a grass border with my neighbor over there. So when it gets close to mapping near that border, I'm going to have to draw a virtual no-go line on the map so it doesn't continue on mowing into the neighbor's yard. You know, Terramow also has a physical boundary that you can put out if you want to do it that way, and that way you don't have to monitor it as close while it's mapping. You just put out the physical no-go barrier and it will map and not go past that barrier. It's doing this so fast that I have no problem waiting on it to finish mapping, and I'll just add that virtual no-go boundary over there. No problem. Looks like it finished another little bit of a border thing, and it's going to go back to about right there and start doing back and forths again, and then continue working to the right of the screen. So we're getting very close to the point to where I'm going to have to pause it, and we're going to have to do a no-go zone. Let's see what side of the tree it goes on here. Okay, it's coming back this way. This is going to be the last swipe, because it needs to stay on this side of that stuff there. So I'm going to pause it right there, and we're going to go back in the shade. So what we're going to do while we're paused here, you'll go into the map edit function, and then you can see exactly where it's at here. Right here, this is the big tree right in front of it. And then behind it, this is the little bush down there by the street. That's the street right there. We'll just make it that way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a virtual fence. First, I'm going to zoom out just a bit, and I'm going to build a virtual fence. And we're going to continue that virtual fence. And the reason why I went so far past to the north is because there's a little bit of grass over here on the other side of that cut down tree, and it can get that if it wants to, but it doesn't need to go much further than that. So we're going to go ahead and lock in this no-go zone with save. It warned me that I might have put the no-go zone too close to the robot, but we'll see what happens. And we're going to back out of here, and then we're going to say resume. Okay, it needs to stay on this side of that little fence thing. It should be basically making its last swipe, like a perimeter sweep right now. It is quite an incline there from the edge of the lawn down to the street. There's probably about a foot drop, struggling a little bit to go straight, but it's doing it. Said mapping completed. Returning to the base station. Let's follow this guy back to the backyard and see if it makes it. It said starting multi-zone pathway. We drove about right down the edge of this concrete, maybe within a few inches of the edge of the concrete, so we'll see how close it gets. It got a little closer to that fence than I thought it would. I don't know why it's way over there. It's about a foot off from where it should be. Okay, I figured it out. Terramow's over there about to go plug in. I have affectionately renamed it to Elon Musk. I've probably said that before in an earlier video. I think that's pretty funny since I like Tesla and the Terramow is big on AI vision. That's what Elon's big on, so this Terramow is now called Elon Musk. There is one thing still missing in the settings for the backyard and the front yard. I can't choose which one Terramow will mow right now. It's one big yard and you hit mow and it starts here in the backyard and mows the whole backyard and then follows the path around to the front yard and mows the front yard. I've been told there's an update coming in September that's going to allow more fine control of your different zones on where it starts and what zone it's going to work in. So we will make a video on that when it happens. I'm also going to make a video probably sometime next week. It's not very useful. This is going to be just for fun, but I'm going to power the Terramow off solar power. It's really not useful because that thing uses pennies of electricity to run, but it will be fun to see if it's possible. So I have a solar panel, I have an EcoFlow battery pack. We're gonna see if I can mow my whole yard on one EcoFlow's worth of battery. Now, if I run the battery pack down, it won't be good because it'll be trying to charge and it can't. But since Terramow only mows during the daytime, this actually might work with Terramow, where it didn't really work well with Luba because I mowed at nighttime. So Luba would go out and mow and it would come back and charge and deplete the EcoFlow battery pack, and there's no sun to recharge it. So this may work a little bit better with the Terramow. So we're going to go try it again, but that's coming up in a later episode. Thanks for watching this episode about making the multi-zone pathway. Sorry I screwed up with recording the video earlier. Such is life. If you want to see the first video where making the multi-zone pathway did not work correctly, I'll link it down in the video description. If you want to see some of my other robot lawnmower videos, I do have a playlist up on those. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.